Here's a song called Henry Louis Furman, the People's Key of G, Brooklyn, New York. Well, you were born on a cold, wet Wednesday night to a Romanian Brooklyn Jew, to Rose and George and Big Brother Stan at Flatbush and Avenue U. You told me about East 3rd Street, living in a one-bed, second-floor flat with your parents, little David and Uncle Heine and Stan. Now what do you think about that? You were your brother's protector. I gotta guess you had no choice, 'cause brother David was a skinny little thing amongst the roughneck 4th Street boys. In the neighborhood you played handball, brine pickles were a treat. One time you gave me a stiletto blade that you found on a New York street. Well, you studied design at MIT and just learned how to do it right. Textile biz took you to Chicago, where you played piano at night. There were times I thought you were an asshole, other times I wished you did. Right now I'd give most anything just to kiss and laugh your whole bald head. Tip-Top Taylor took you north of the border after splitting up with your first wife. When Mom saw your ad in the paper, you started up a brand new life. When she asked you to marry, you answered yes with a trademark grin. And you tied a big knot at a church in Aught 3 after 20 years of living in sin. There were times when I thought you were a terrible prick, other times I didn't stand you at all. Remember that time on the French-Swiss border when you freaked out and scared us all? Sometimes you thought you were an asshole, other times I wished you dead. Right now I'd give most anything just to laugh and kiss your old bald head. You taught me chords on piano, on a Wurlitzer we kept around the place. And I can't forget the happy sounds you made when I brought home my first string bass. Well, we played Autumn in New York and Bye Bye Blackbird too. Sometimes you would yell out the chords to Fats Waller's Black and Blue. Well, you sure took real good care of Mom when she took sick back in the day. We were both at her side holding her hands when she finally slipped away. Now one day in the great pandemic, in North York you were living all alone. We spoke 2 or 3 times a day online and on the phone. Well, you said, "How you doing, sweetheart?" And I said, "I miss you, Hank." He said, "Kid, I'm not feeling so hot," and that's when my heart sank. Well, you see, it turns out Hank had been sick for a while and he couldn't carry on. Finally let me come visit him. A month later, he was gone. Well, I'm glad my children knew you, Hank. Of you they were particularly fond. And all I can do is sing these words and hope we meet in the great beyond. I remember some words that you spoke to me that I never will forget, you see. The 2 most important things in life are communication and honesty. And now it's 1 year later, after helplessly watching you die, and I'm sitting here with your old accordion and your recipe for matzo brie. There were times when I thought you were an asshole, other times I wished you dead. Right now I'd surely give anything just to laugh and kiss your old bald head. There were times when I thought you were an asshole, other times I wished you dead. But right now I'd give most anything just to laugh and kiss your old bald head. Sitting Sunday in the breeze, counting streetlights in the trees. Take my baby for ice cream. Domesticity's a dream. Fell asleep on the midway. Finders, keepers, losers, prey. Side by side our dark eyes gleaming. When we're awake, sitting Sunday in the breeze, counting streetlights in the trees. Took my baby for ice cream. Domesticity's just a dream. Fell asleep on the midway. Finders, keepers, losers, prey. Side by side our dark eyes gleaming. When we're awake we won't stop dreaming. Stanging forth and back again, out with boys and little men. Growing old down in the park, stifled whispers in the dark. We'll be back again one day. Will we have no need to play? Will you remember when we cried the day the father figure died? Back and forth and back again, out with boys and little men. Growing old down in the park, stifled whispers in the dark. Back and forth and back again, trying hard not to pretend. Broken hearts can surely mend. Now I hope that it won't end. Out with the boys and little men. With the boys and little men. Out with boys and little men. Back and forth and back again, trying hard not to pretend. Broken hearts can surely mend. Now I hope that it won't end. With the boys and little men. With those boys and little men. With the boys and little men. With the boys. Begat boys. Begat boys. Begat boys. With the boys and little men. Begat boys. Begat boys. Begat boys with little men. Begat boys. Begat boys. Begat boys with little men. Begat boys. Begat boys. Begat boys with little men. 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 Boys and little men. Boys and little men. Boys and little men. Thank you. Well, this is for all my brothers and sisters and otherwise who appreciate the old-time recordings. Maybe you listen to 45s. Perhaps you listen to collections of 78 records on the Yazoo or Document. Or maybe just a straight-up 33 album, vinyl style. Don't forget about 8-tracks, wire recorders, and the like. Well, you got your Sippy Wallace and your Bumblebee Slim. You got Charlie Patton, Bessie Smith, and Tiny Tim. Oh, Papa Charlie Jackson, baby, it's tight like that. Don't about Little Hat Jones? Listen here, 'cause I'm talking about Little Hat Jones. When he weeps, when he sleeps, and grins when he moans. Don't forget to remember, oh, Little Hat Jones. Well, you listen to the music when I'm calling you on the phone. You're getting hip to the lip about the pride of San Antonio. Take a drink of liquor when the time is getting hard. Make a living wage, 'cause you got to fill the larder when you're cooking up the turnip greens and singing Uncle Ned. Come into the kitchen, get a piece of my bread. What about Little Hat Jones? Listen here, 'cause I'm talking about Little Hat Jones. When he weeps, when he sleeps, and grins when he moans. Don't forget to remember, oh, Little Hat Jones. Well, the last time I seen him, he was standing on the corner with his hands inside his pockets like a blackjack horner. Knick-knack, paddywhack, a dog is getting mean, so he's slipping out of Dodge on a Yankee submarine. He says, bye-bye, 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 Little Hat Jones. Ain't long. Well, what about Little Hat Jones? Listen here, 'cause I'm talking about Little Hat Jones. When he weeps, when he sleeps, and grins when he moans. Don't forget to remember, oh, Little Hat Jones.